Let me welcome you on this presentation, which is going to be about how we made a city for Mafia 2. Let me introduce myself. I'm Jan Kratochvíl. I work in 2K Czech as one of lead programmers. So this speech will be slightly technical and not so much fancy because I am a programmer, so I'm not able to do fancy stuff. So, what is it going to be about? This speech, I will try to present what was our goals, what we wanted to achieve with city gameplay and how the city is supposed to look like. Then I will go deeper into a few topics. So I will start with how we are filling the city with elements like pedestrians, cars, and stuff like that. Then I will try to explain how we made the city look more alive by creating some action spots. Then I will talk a little bit about our driver because it's a little bit unusual. So let's see. The next topic will be about the police because police is the biggest gameplay part of the city. In our game, of course. And then I will talk about what went good and what went wrong. So, let's see. So, goals. Full city full of life. So it was like, do a city that will be looking like a real city. I said, okay, let's try. So our goals was not that much about doing some lot of great gameplay in the city, but about creating a realistic city that is a good stage for a game like Mafia, which is linear game, and the city is just a stage for it. It's not the main part of the game. It is a big part, but it's not what it is about. Then our other goal was to make it player-centric, so the player will feel like he is the owner of the city, so he will like the city. Then, as I said, we had to ensure that the city will not be bad for the player, so he will be, it will not break the story feeling, so we need to work with the story as well. Then our other goal was in the technology, not to limit artists in any way, so we limited them, but the goal was not to limit them at all, but it's not possible, so there is some compromise. And of course, our goal was seamless streaming, so no loading at all. So, filling city with elements. So what does it mean? First, you need to put some static geometry, which is buildings, roads, and stuff. So this is easy stuff, quite easy. Then you need to do some grass and garbage, which is not affecting the gameplay, but makes the city look more alive. Then there are things we call translocated objects, which is lamps, and lots of small objects. And of course, there are the biggest things, it's pedestrians and cars. In this presentation, I will not talk much about the first three things. I will focus on the last two. So, this is how a street looks like if it's just a static geometry. You see not very appealing, I would say it's boring. This is what the city street looks like if you add translocated objects. So you see there is now it seems like quite a city, but it's dead. So we added cars and pedestrians. There is not so many pedestrians, but over there sitting on the bench, someone. This screenshot is from early version, so never mind. So, how to spawn elements like pedestrian on or a car. Our spawning process is not just only spawning, but also about how to prepare the model in the memory and how to deliver. So there are lots of problems connected to it. First, there is a memory constraint. So we are not allowed to have more than 10 different models of human and 10 different models of cars because of just memory. So to achieve better looking situations, we are coloring our models and we are switching them every now and then. It also depends on the city part and stuff like that, but it's more about you need to switch them because otherwise it will look boring in a while. Then spawning, of course, has to select best spawn place, which is quite a complicated algorithm. I will talk about it a little bit. And then a spawning system is also responsible for despawning, which is even more important than the spawning itself, because if you don't despawn the elements soon enough, you will not have any resources, so you will not be able to spawn more elements, and so it will look very empty. And if you do spawn them too soon, then it will be also bad because the player will notice. And then I will, no, I will not, but so now, special system for spawning police and vendors, because the police has special rules for spawning and despawning, because you cannot simply despawn policeman the same way you are despawning the pedestrian, because if the policeman is chasing you, for example, and you will despawn him right away, it will look very stupid. And vendors are usually bound to some specific object. For example, hot dog stand seller is bound to his stand, so you cannot despawn him because then you have a stand without seller and other way around. So let's jump how we spawn human. So spawn point, it of course depends on the player position, on the visibility. So if the player is looking somewhere, we need to spawn them far away. If he is, we can spawn them quite close to him if it's behind him. Then it's the usability. And it's what I said with the hot dog stand seller, for example. And then another very important thing is aggregation for us, which is we need to somehow ensure that there are not so many pedestrians at one place, because if you don't care about that, you will end up having like small crowds of people going somewhere, then despawns, and another small crowd, and so on. So the aggregation, we are counting how many people is around the spawn point, and if it's too much, we will not spawn there. Yeah, our spawn points, we are using kynapse for pathfinding. So the spawn points itself are on the kynapse nodes, and it's enough for us. Then there are specific spawn points for action points, and it's, again, I will speak about action points, but again, a good example is the hot dog stand seller. And then we need to spawn people in the cars, because you cannot have a car without the driver. So it's also important because more about the second thing, because if the other way around, because if you are spawning the car and you don't have driver available, you cannot spawn the car, so it's tightly connected. Now I have a video of actually of the bug. Please, this is from early stage of development. It's just to show you what we call lemmings. This happens if you generate the data wrongly. So this, you will not notice, because there are kynapse nodes in these spots, but you will not notice because obviously they are not able to get there, but the spawning algorithm is able to. And aggregation doesn't work because they will find out that there is no one around the spawn point, so they will just spawn. Yeah. Okay. So, when should we spawn? First, obvious, if the element is too far away. Too far away is 100 meters, something like that. Or if he is not visible for too long. So, for example, it happens that you will spawn someone behind the wall, and he is close to you all the time, but you are not able to see him. So, if someone is not visible for a few seconds, then it's okay to respawn him. As I said, for the policeman, if they are in action, you cannot respawn them because it will look stupid. Then we have a specific kind of death, which is if you are driving by car very fast, then behind you is kind of death that immediately despawns everything that's there. And it's functional from some speed, so you will not notice, but yeah, it proves very useful. So, car spawning is very, very similar to human spawning, but it has some extension. It's more difficult because cars are moving quite fast. So you need to count the initial speed for them, and you need to be aware of the space in front of them, because you just cannot spawn a car which is going 20 meters per second and it's close to the wall or something. So it would also not do a good thing. For cars, we use our own solution of data. So we have our roadmap. I will talk about it a little bit. So we are not using keynaps for cars at all. And as I said, for the cars, there is different types of cars you can spawn, because they can be moving, they can be parked, like on the street, and there can be cars that are just what we call translocated, and these are just to fill the city, but they are not usable by the AI. So parked cars are usable by AI, translocated not. So, and they are spawned on predefined locations, not on the roadmap. So, how the car spawning looks like. First initial idea was just there is some player in the center, and we should spawn the cars in some annulus around them. Yeah, this doesn't work actually, because either the cars will be spawned too far away from you, and they will not get a chance to get towards you, or they are spawned too close to you. It depends on the settings, and you will just see it. So, this can work if the player is not moving, but the player is usually moving, and the car spawning is very important when the player is moving at a certain speed, and obviously the more important it is when the player is in the car. So, if the player is moving, that is our first improvement. So it's not a circle anymore. It's more like an egg. So the cars that are in front of you are spawned more far away, and cars behind you are still pretty close. Another important thing is to realize that for spawning cars, it's not very useful to spawn a car that is driving away from you, because they will be spawned in, let's say, 200 meters before you, and it's going away, and it will be despawned. So it's just ate some resources and nothing more. But at certain speed, if you reach, let's say, 15 meters per second or 20 meters per second, it's okay to spawn cars in front of you. So it's another thing you need to care about. This is better, but still not good. So if you add this is my drawing of view frustrum. If you add this, so you will see that these spawn points are probably not very good because cars are quite big. You need to spawn them at, let's say, 150 meters, but because of the size of the car, it will be still visible. So if they fit into this, then we move them on the road map far away from the player. This works pretty well. So, I see. This is another video from development. It's actually, it was connected to one of our bugs.
What the fuck are you doing?
This happens if you have a bug in the spawning system. So, yeah, exactly. You know, when we received this bug, we was like, oh, okay, what happened? Actually, this was because of the missing collisions. So the car was spawned on the highway, fall down, and on the highway they are spawned at very big speeds. So, but it happens, yeah. And Joe said it. Yeah. So, despawning. What's the reason for car to be despawned? So, for cars, it's also a little bit more complicated because if you despawn a human, which is just behind you, yeah, it's bad, but you will probably not notice. If you despawn a car that is right behind you, now, immediately you will not hear it. So, it will be strange, at least from the sound point of view. So, despawn cars, it needs to be far away. Or it is not visible for a long time, and it's at certain distance, and it's not moving towards player. Because if car is far away and it's moving towards player, it's still worth of letting it in. Yeah. Again, police has special rules because police is kind of special. Okay. Yeah, and despawning also is very important to do it very fast because the spawn mechanism does lots of mistakes. Like he will spawn a car that have no chance to be visible anytime soon. So despawning needs to be very, very, very good. And there is one line I want to talk about. Visible cars are never despawned. It's actually not true. The truth is that the cars that are in view frustrum are never despawned. It seems like very brave, because if the car is on the long road going out of far away, you can say, okay, I will see it, and it's far away, and there is no point in having it in. But the reason why it's not a problem is that if it is too far away, it will fall through the collisions because they are not there, so it will not be visible anymore. Great. So, action points. This is the core for us, how to make the action in the city, like the pedestrian is walking, he stops, he smokes a cigar, then he reads a paper, then he goes somewhere else, stuff like that. So this is our technique, how to create life in the city. Action points are fully scripted actions, so we just provided, by we, I mean programmers, just provided some technology for the scripter, for designers, how to do such actions. So this system just attracts pedestrians, and the scripter says, okay, I want him, and takes control over this pedestrian and plays some set of animations or sounds and stuff like that. So this is quite good system how to create very generic actions. Good thing for me is that lots of work is for the content creators, not for programmers. So these are set of examples of action points. So there is no point in reading them, I believe. So I will just try to show them. So, for example, here you can see some ladies sitting on the bench, which is our most common action. There is a man waiting for nothing. There is the hot dog stand I talked about.
Well, bitches of pleasure right here. Well, bitches of pleasure right here. Foot long, get your foot long.
There is someone
Get a foot
selling the
long.
newspapers
Never leave
somewhere.
home.
I read it. There is some man repairing the car. It's also action point. So it's just to get good. Okay. So let's jump to a thing that's close to my heart. It's a car driver. So how are we moving with the cars, and what's it all about? So first, when you are doing AI for a driver, you need to know what's your physical model of the car capable of, because if you don't know it, you cannot design the AI. So in Mafia, our physics model supports arcade and simulation settings for a car. The AI actually is using simulation settings. It's not exactly true, because the arcade simulation settings is actually float number from 0 to 1, but in the GUI it's just 2 states. So AI uses something like 0.2 settings for simulation. So it's why it's using simulation. It's easy, because the arcade is there are too many 8 that you will notice when you will hit the car from the traffic. You will notice that it's somehow strange. It doesn't react, and so simulation is definitely a good choice. So the car driver for its use is bound to using just what he has from the roadmap and subdivision, which is subdivision is some system for us which includes all dynamic objects, and there are queries for selecting them from the world. But the driver does not know anything about static scene, so he is blind in it, of course, because of performance. We implemented a few types of driver, which is one is from wandering, which is used by the traffic, and then there is hunter and escaper. Hunter is obviously for police and gangsters, and escaper is for mission-specific needs. He's just supposed to get somewhere as fast as possible. Physical model. This is just few notes about what our physical model is capable of. So, first of all, it's fully aware of what's under him. So the adhesion and tires are very important for a good physical simulation, because it will look strange if you are reacting exactly the same on snow and water or ice or anything. Because of the physical model complexity, we really need to do some abstraction for the AI. So the layer for abstraction is very simple. It provides very limited input. So you will just say, I want to go at that speed. I want to, my preferred acceleration is this, my preferred centripetal acceleration is this, and my wheels are pointed at that direction. And the underlying, the layer under it needs to handle this. It's also important to the acceleration which is proposed by AI needs to take into account the adhesion, because obviously the car will not be able to go through turning at the same speed if it is on ice or if it's on sand or on simple road. Okay. So this is a video of what our physical model is capable of. So now you can see that the tires are really soft and it takes into account. Okay. So there is pressure in the wheels. So when the pressure is moving through time, you can actually. Okay. So you can see that the car is very soft. So and you need to be aware of that in when you are doing the AI for the cars, because they are. Then I think there will be some debug stuff to show. Oh, okay. So it's perfectly, it's possible to drift quite easily with cars, which is obviously not very important for the traffic, but it's very important for police and for the hunter, who is able to do cool stuff when he is hunting you. So, yeah. And now you can see that we have a heating model on the wheels. So the red means that the wheel is too hot. The green means it's quite okay, and the blue means it's too cold. So, and you can see that it will cool down on the grass. So the model is very precise. When stuff like that. That is just some cool finishing stuff. Yeah. Yeah, but it was not done by me, but never mind. So, roadmap. Roadmap, it's the word for a driver. So, it needs to be very fast for computation process, because there are a lot of queries to the roadmap all the time. It needs to fit in the memory, because we really tried to avoid streaming for a roadmap, because we had a lot of problems with streaming of all other systems. So we really like to keep this very simple. So the roadmap is for the whole city. It's in the memory for the whole time. It has about 400 kilobytes with every necessary information. Meta information like where is the parking line, where is the crossroad and stuff like that. I don't know, for the cut-moron spines, why we chose them, it's because they are very easy to compute. They are going through the interpolation points, so it's easy to edit them, and their tangents are continuous over multiple segments, so they have every property we want. So, and the crossroads are also defined as cut-moron splines. This is how a roadmap looks like in editor. So you can see there are different colors. So the green is main road, blue it's a parking lane, yellow is I believe just a place for the AI to know that it can go there, but there shouldn't be any parking spots. this is how crossroad looks like. So you can see there are also some splines. This design of how to define how to get through the crossroad is quite okay for us, but it has some disadvantages as well, because you cannot go with one car, with more cars than few of them through the crossroad at the same time, even though it seems it's possible. And if the car locks the spine, you need to wait for it to get from the crossroad to allow another car to get in. So it has some disadvantages. Okay, now what's very important for the driver is setting of speed, because the driver itself, it's about two things: setting the speed and setting the wheels, the angle of the wheels. So obviously the speed is very important. We decided to compose the speed as a minimum of 3 different types of speed. First is behavior, which is like the logic for the logic from the AI, which can be anything like the crossings or the traffic lights, or maximum speed set by scripter that this car is not allowed to go more than something. That is obstacle speed, which is because you need to set your speed depending on the car in front of you, or if player is around or anything like that. And the third is course speed, which is just not get out of the road because you are too fast. What's important design decision is that if there is some desire in the AI, it's allowed only to decrease the speed. So if you want to really go some fast and you don't want to care about, for example, obstacles, then you need to remove the desire of obstacle avoidance from the settings of the AI. That is, I like to have some formula in every presentation. So this is the formula for computing the speed depending on the curve, which is actually not, it's not hard, but it's some iterative algorithm which works like that. So the blue thing is the car. Okay, that is 2 blue things, and the line is the expected trajectory. So the car looks far ahead. It's how far is dependent on the current distance to brake, which is expected. It's computed and it's just a guess. So from the first, first velocity is just infinite. This 36 meters per second, it's actually the velocity 2, which is minimum from the curve speed, which is computed by the curve radius and the centripetal acceleration. Because this segment, which is the L, is straight, so he can go at max speed from it. This segment is not so straight, so he sees that he needs to be slow in this segment. So it's from the formula. And in the last segment, he also knows that he can go 36 meters per second, but the segments before is 9 meters per second, so it will influence the output. Easy. So the final speed is, at this point, is meters per second. Okay. As I said already, the communication protocol for car with AI is as minimal as we are able to do it. So just with speed, centripetal acceleration, maximal acceleration, and endpoint. Endpoint distance is dependent on the current speed of the car and on the current expected brake distance. And acceleration, deceleration is also is dependent on the adhesion of the wheels, which is very important. If you don't do that, the car will not be able to go correctly on the snow or on the other surfaces, which was actually why we introduced it, because we were crashing all the time on the snow. Okay, so what's very important, and I believe it's in the games in general, is we need to be very aware of what the player is doing. Because it's very nice to have a nice simulation of the city, but if the player feels like the city is just annoying, it's not good, and the publishing will not like it. So we made it that every car is aware of the player, and if the player is, if it detects that the player is about to collide with the car, with the player, it will slow down or it will try to avoid this collision as it's very important. But of course, it fails sometimes. So just don't be mad if the car hits you and smash you on the road, as we saw earlier. Also, important thing is that the player really needs to feel like the king of the road, and this is why we actually decreased the speed of whole traffic to unrealistic numbers, because now the cars are from the traffic are going very slow, which is about 25-30 kilometers per hour. At the start, it looked to us like it's annoyingly slow, and it's very strange, but we got used to it, and I am not ever noticing it anymore. So, but the player feels like he has the fastest car in the world, and he's doing very great. Another thing that is very important is that drivers has to react when the player hits them. I'm not going to show you because I'm not proud of this, but sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't. But we cheated a little bit. So if the player hits the driver, we actually switch off the AI of the driver for 1 second, 1.5 second, which makes the car just go uncontrolled. And it's because when we didn't do it, the AI is too fast to react that you had the feeling that the cars are on the rails. So even though it was only because the drivers were too good. So we introduced blackout for AI, and it works. Yeah. Then we had to introduce diversity in behaviors. So if every car behaves the same, it doesn't look good. So some cars are faster, some cars are more aggressive, less aggressive. Some driver will, if he's in the jam, he will just will keep honking. Someone will just go away and try to go through the jam, even though he will crash. And the good thing is avoid duck behavior, because it really doesn't look good. Okay. As I said already, the driver knowledge of the world is very limited. So he knows only about the roadmap and about dynamic objects, which sometimes is not enough. For example, if the police is hunting you, you will usually end up somewhere out of the roadmap, and you need to get back. So yeah, sometimes they fail, and they will just walk away and leave the car behind. But most of the time they are trying to get back using asynchronous recast to the static scene, which is quite computationally expensive, but it works sometimes. Unfortunately, we are not able to use shapecasts because of some platforms. Yep. So, Crossroads. How we implemented Crossroads? It's actually a team AI, which holds priority for each car. Cars registers to the team AI, and the crossroads are taken into account, main roads, by roads, and traffic lights, and stuff like that. And this team AI is also responsible for our cheats for mission-specific things. So if there is a mission car that needs to get through the city as fast as possible, then it will order green wave. So it will have always logged the crossroads in advance. Yeah, cheating all the time. Yeah. So this is a crossroad where the actual colors, the yellow is open, and the AI knows that if it is yellow, he can lock it and go through. If it's blue, it needs to wait until it's yellow, because so if the car, for example, the one in the top right corner who is about to leave the crossroad, he is the one who is blocking lots of splines because of he is on the crossroad. Okay, let's jump to police. So, why is police important? It's important because it's our gameplay part of the Mafia 2 in the city is mostly the police. So they are responsible. You will encounter shootouts, car chases, and there is also some stealth action, because if police knows you and you need to escape from them, you need to go very stealthily, because otherwise they will get you and kill you. Because there is no jail in Mafia 2. So, aside from the fact that it's a gameplay part, it's also preventing the player from doing anything he wants, because obviously in type of Mafia, in the game like Mafia, you don't want the player to kill innocent people without some consequences. So, and the very least thing is that the AI can be arrested, shot by police as well, which is, I would say, this is a leak in the design, because what can you do is police arresting AI. They will play some animation of arresting, and now what? Okay, that's a flaw, because you just cannot drag the van and get him somewhere else. So what happens actually is that if AI is arrested, the AI is forced to resist arrest, which escalates, and then the AI is shot by the police. So yeah, that's why there are a few things. Okay, this is from the early versions of the police. This is what happens if two policemen wants to arrest Vito, and there is a flaw. So, because Vito is standing on the place where they want to go, and yeah, it's so it happens. So, as I said, the spawning of police is not so easy as spawning of anything else. The first thing is that we show police on the minimap. So you cannot spawn them in the range of minimap, which is dynamic. So this is the first thing we need to avoid. Then second specific thing for police is that we are spawning police reinforcements. So if you are very bad in the city, the police starts to spawn more and more, and they even are spawning on the places we know you are going to be in a few seconds. So yeah, they are cheating a little bit. Then we have specific police blocks. I bet even if there is someone who played Mafia 1, there were police blocks in Mafia 1, but I believe that almost nobody ever knew that they are. So in Mafia 2, we tried to make them more common, but you need to be very nice, because they are spawned when they want really to kill you. They are using spike strips and stuff like that, so yeah. And spawning of chasing police cars, so we are cheating a little bit, so if you are driving fast away from the police, they will eventually be spawned right behind you, but outside of the radar range, so it's not exactly right behind, but it's close. So, for police cars, we implemented several maneuvers. First is just follow. So, if police is following you, you are actually dropping breadcrumbs. So, even though you don't want to, but you are, and police is following you on these breadcrumbs. Then there is a bump maneuver, which is just to crash from behind to the player. There is hit maneuver, which is if the car is going right behind you, they will try to bump you from behind, from the side. So it's quite good maneuver, but it's very hard to process this. So, but it works somehow. Then we have kamikaze maneuver, which is if they see you, you are heading towards them, they are heading towards you, and will just crash into you. And then very useful maneuver is overtake and block. They will overtake you and block you. This is working if you are not trying to escape. It's not so good maneuver when you are at high speed. As I said before, yeah, we are cheating. So this is a very different experience when you are playing with the normal mode and with the simulation mode, because if you are playing with the normal mode, or arcade, or I don't know what's the name, current, then if the police crash into you, the 8 assists will help you a lot, and you will take control quite easily back. If you have a simulation, every crash into the car is quite problem for you. So, but most players will play normal mode because it's default. So we are cheating. So if police bumps into you, we will shake with your controls for a split second, and it will make it very hard for you to get the control back. And we are cheating a little bit with the teleportation, but not in the way that it will be stressful for the player. It's just because sometimes it's very hard for the police to get in the chase. It's easy to chase you once they were close to you, but it's very hard to initialize the hunt. So we are in the start of the hunt, sometimes outside of the radar, teleporting a little bit. Okay, so what were most difficult things in police for us? First, passive player. It's a nightmare, because if the player decides that, okay, I will not do anything, then it's actually harder for the police to get you than if you are trying to escape. Just try it. You'll see. It's in the final game. Then other issue is that police is sometimes too lethal. So you, by accident, run over someone. Yeah. So you are seen by police, and then you are escaping, and then they will just kill you very, very, very effectively. And the last issue was that the cars from traffic was actually prevents the precise maneuvers, because the police are crashing into traffic cars all the time. So we are lowering traffic if there is police chase. So if you are just driving around the city, you have around 40, 50 cars. If you are pursued by police, there is, depending on how many cars are chasing you and stuff, it's maybe 10 or 15 cars. And it works pretty well, and I believe that you will not notice. Okay, so I will just try to quickly go through what went wrong, because this... Okay, I'm lying. So we had to cut a few things, so yeah, I was advised not to say it, because if you don't know what has been cut, you are not missing it. But I want to say it anyway, because for me it helps to explain where are the problems. So we cut taxi and subway, even though they were working 80-90%, but it was not good enough, and we had no time to finish them. So, for example, for the taxi, it was perfectly working in the city, but it didn't fit into the gameplay, because there was teleport in the taxi, so you were able to teleport on the final destination, and it broke the gameplay, because there were timed missions and stuff like that, or you can miss some detector from the scripters, and it was just a nightmare to debug. So, instant quest. This was very easy, no time, cut. We had 2 finished and another few on the way, but it was not a good idea to leave few of them and feel like something there, but it's not finished, so cut. Friendly gangs. There were, if you are on the streets and you try to shoot a gangster, then there was some gangs that were friendly with you, so it started some fight of gangs, so we were just sitting and watching, and the gangsters were fighting against each other. No time to finalize this feature, so yeah, working, but not good enough. Not for much. Yeah, we cut them 3 years ago, so no rush, but we just find out that our simulation model of motorbikes is not good enough, so we didn't even start this working on the AI and stuff around that. Another thing that went wrong for us is bad planning. Like I said, for example, for the taxi, we didn't think that much about connection of the city and the mission gameplay soon enough. So that's, for example, also a reason for cutting the subway, because you said, okay, we have subway somehow working, we need some time to finish it, and then there was a question, what's the subway good for a game? I said, okay, sorry, okay, then cut it. This is another bad thing that happens, I believe, all the time. I think that there is nothing need to explain. It's just, it happened. And we, 1 year ago, we threw police code away and we did it all over again, which is not a very good thing to do. What went good? It's very hard for me to say what went good, because I'm too used to good things in Mafia, so it's, and I also see it's very easy to see the bad things. It's hard to see the good things. But subjective, my point of view, this actually is not achievement of programmers. This is achievement of our technical designers that were very fast at clicking. So they clicked and clicked, and they made it happen. Yeah. We have shops in the city, which are also not very important for the game itself, but it's just nice addition to the game. Sometimes, yeah, it happens. It's and it's fun to see. Yeah. Sometimes they don't, but and what I think for us, it's the driver model is really funny to play, and for me, it's just fun to go around the city and play. So, for our person, to create a city, it's not very hard, really. There are lots of tasks you need to complete, tons of tasks. It takes infinite amount of time, but every task is quite simple. It's except streaming, maybe. Yeah, I know, but this happened. We implemented the feature and then we tried to design it, and it's not the best thing to do. And as I said, there is tons of things. If you are trying to do something city-like, then try to do it incrementally, because otherwise it will never work. That's pretty much it. So thank you for attention, and you can ask questions whenever you want.